Yo, what's up, guys? Paulie Malignaggi, Tommy Reno, and this is Tommy and Paulie's Big Fight Forecast. Another week of big time boxing. We discuss all the gambling aspects of this week's schedule in boxing. And you know what? There's always a gambling aspect to the boxing schedule, Tommy. You know that, and we know that, and we love that. We hope you do too. Remember, everything discussed on Tommy and Paulie's Big Fight Forecast is strictly for entertainment purposes, and it is not gambling or investing advice. There's a lot to discuss here this week with a pretty good schedule, Tommy.
Yeah. We're going to go over 4 fights, but 3 of them are tricky
Real
fights.
tough,
5
tough
fights.
ones. We got real tough ones, but that's why you guys tune in to us and pay attention to us, right? We'll give our thoughts, and we prefer to let you in on our inner conversations, myself and Tommy, and our thoughts as well. Of course, Tommy and I like the parlay route, so it diminishes the risks involved with some of this gambling. But let's start with the Friday schedule, man. Pro Box TV. It's a fight that I'm actually going to be calling on Pro Box TV. To me, on paper, this is a level up from the regular Pro Box fight. Like, I always talk about Pro Box TV fights as sort of the old Friday Night Fights replacement, and I feel like that's the level of fights that we put on a lot of times. Very good matchups, but the level of fighters is Friday Night Fights. So some of those guys may move on to bigger things, some of those guys may not, as was in the case with the old Friday Night Fights, right? I feel like this Friday's Pro Box card, though, the main event is actually more on the line to keep using the old analogy for the old televised boxing, and the old boxing heads will remember these as well. It's a little bit higher than Friday Night Fights. I think this is more of a Boxing After Dark HBO, Boxing After Dark main event.
Agree.
Nicklaus Flaz and Tiger Johnson. Tiger Johnson coming over from Top Rank. Top Rank obviously doesn't have a TV schedule yet, or TV alliance yet, so they're letting some other networks borrow their fighters. Tiger is a Top Rank fighter. Flaz has been on Pro Box TV several times, has been super impressive. Tiger, obviously, super impressive with his amateur career, a former amateur world champion, incredible pedigree. Tommy, man, this is not an easy one to discuss on the boxing aspect side of it, but I do salivate at the matchup.
Yeah, you're lucky to be sitting there ringside calling this one because it's going to be a very good fight stylistically, and it's going to be close. Stylistically,
It's going to be a real chess match, too, where then the layman may not think it's exciting, but I love these kind of fights. I love these kind of matchups. I like both fighters, and, I'm excited for the matchup.
Yeah, with Delante Johnson, I bet him numerous times in the past. Usually more often than not, just for the decision, because he's a good boxer. He's not a huge puncher, but he's a good solid boxer. He puts rounds in the bank, and most of his fights are not competitive on the card. So I've won many decisions with Delante Johnson. And what's interesting about this fight is when I was first looking at a little video footage of both guys, I was leaning towards Johnson right away, but most likely by decision in my book. I'm saying to myself, you know what, he's a good fighter. He's diverse, Paul. He can come forward and he can be the boss, but he also has very good legs. He can move, very sharp counter puncher, good jab, puts punches to the head and body together well. One of your favorite things, catch and shoot. He's big on that. High guard, he'll catch, he'll come right back. So, I mean, Johnson is, without big power, he's kind of the total package to a degree on this level. And when I watched Flaz fight, I do remember his upset over Jai Tucker. And before that, he actually beat another undefeated guy, Cabal.
Brian Ceballo.
Ceballo, I'm sorry. Ceballo. Now, Ceballo, I did not see that fight, but I know he beat Ceballo. And then I remember losing. I think I lost money on that fight when he pulled off the upset over Tucker. That being said, I watched the Tucker fight again last night, and that was a close fight, boy. That could have went either way. But my first initial reaction was there's no way that he could beat Johnson. He doesn't move his head. He's borderline slow. Predictable. Lacks the head movement. He's got good power. He's got balls. He's more of an effort guy. But then once I watched a couple of his follow-up fights from that victory, it's amazing how much one victory can improve you, because now I'm seeing a much the guy's flowing a lot better. He looks faster. He's moving his head more. He's using his legs to dart in and out of
shot selection. His shot selection.
Shot selection. I mean, he's improved by leaps and bounds since the Tucker fight. So, and he's got good power and he's got balls. We already know that. He's got the character. We already know that. So,
and he's a sneaky body puncher too.
Yeah. He commits to the body. This is going to be a very, very good fight. I think that we know what we're going to get from Flaz because the intangibles already answered. We know he's got character, right? And now the skill set is catching up to the character. As far as Johnson goes, we don't know about the character just yet. What's going to happen when he's got a guy out there that's competitive and really trying to beat him? because the skill set is there with Johnson, but he's got to have to show some balls on Friday night. There's no way around it.
Yeah, and all good points, Tommy. And me being involved directly in this fight, obviously, I'm not going to give a lot of opinions, and I'll leave that to you. But from having spoken to both of them, Tiger Johnson, he likes to be called Tiger, even though his name's Delante. Tiger Johnson,
Yeah.
he's more so looking at this like a coming out party. He basically has told us, like, look at my performance this fight. This is going to be like, where everyone's going to recognize who I am and where I can go as a pro. While the feeling from Flaz was, yeah, he was a great amateur, but he's never really become a pro. I've become a pro, and
Right.
I'm going to show that pro at a pro level. There's different dimensions that I'm going to have that he doesn't have. It's going to overcome him. So I felt like they both had good reason to be confident, and they made good points to basically push push their side of the debate as far as who's going to win the fight. But still a difficult fight to pick.
Yeah, and you know what? Listen, we got a pretty wide open welterweight landscape right now. So the winner of this fight is going to springboard. Not necessarily.
It's actually wide open to the point where the contenders are better than the champions in some ways. I think both of these guys could be welterweight champions right now.
Yeah, no. The winner of this fight is going to move to the top of the ladder of the welterweight division and is looking at something big. So I think you're in for something special with this fight. If Johnson, I don't question Flaz's mentality. I mean, he took a couple of losses. He got knocked out by Bokachek in the first round early in his career. That's a fight I didn't get to see, actually, and I was surprised that he got knocked out by Bokachek.
The Ukrainian?
No, I'm sorry. No. Bokachika.
Yeah.
Who was a good, solid fighter, but
yeah, good puncher. Good puncher.
Yeah. He also knocked down Norman Allen. He dropped Allen in the first round before it went to a no contest. So he could punch a little bit. Yeah. This is a tricky one, Paul. It really is, because it's almost like who's going to have the better night. If Flaz comes there and he's the usual guy and I suspect that he's going to be, he's his usual self, he's going to be a problem. I think it's really up to Tiger Johnson. We got to see what this guy's made of. We know the skill sets there, the boxing IQ, the ring intelligence. Like I said, I love the counter punch and the catch and shoot. Sometimes he's not busy enough and can let these rounds go up for grabs too. That's a little bit of a worry for me, because Flaz, how the fight's going to play out. Flaz is coming forward. He's going to try and be the boss and
that rhythm.
Yeah. And Johnson can fight off the back foot and move, and he's got good legs. So that's how I see the fight playing out, is that Flaz is going to be the bull versus the matador. He's going to be the bull coming forward here. Twist my arm on a pick, Paulie. I'm going to play the safe route. I really am. And, as I discussed on this show, I do multiple parlays. So I'm going to lean heavier towards the fight just going the distance. I do think it goes to 10-round distance. And I got Johnson for the decision, but I'm more heavily invested on the fight just going the distance.
So you're leaning to Johnson for the decision, but that's more of a risk to you. You like the fight going the distance. So obviously you're talking about, we're going to have to see Johnson's character in this fight. So you're seeing Johnson's character pulling through as far as even going the distance. Because if a guy like Johnson doesn't have character, Flaz can overwhelm him like he's been overwhelming some recent opponents. So you're looking at this fight going the distance. What are the odds on a distance fight here?
Minus 375.
Okay, so paired up with a couple other things.
Yeah.
What
we're going to find out about Johnson is his chin, honestly, because it's going to get touched. It's more than likely going to get touched.
Yeah. So, even to the body, right?
Yeah. If he can sustain the punishment, if his chin is up to par, then you know what, I think that, and of course the character has to match. I think that he could navigate to a 10-round decision, but I do see the fight ultimately going the distance. But again, Paulie, it's a matter of who is able to implement that game plan, because who's having the better night here? I think Flaz is very, very live. The odds are dead even. I mean, they're both like minus 105.
Yeah. Very, very tight fight. Very, very tough fight to decide on. Flaz is more battle tested in the pros, but Johnson is very battle tested in the amateurs. So
correct.
We do know a little bit about him as well. All right, man. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is Saturday, the zone fights.
Yeah, so this is the zone.
Fulgum?
Yeah, we're going to start with Eric Priest, who I like.
Oh, Eric Priest, okay.
Yeah, middleweights. Eric Priest is fighting, I'm not going to even try and pronounce this guy's first name. Eskeniakir. All right.
Okay.
Correa is his last name. He's 16-6, 2 draws, 14 knockouts. Yes, he can punch, Paulie, but 13 of those wins are against winless fighters. So you're looking at
those knockouts.
Yeah, 13 of those wins in general. Actually, I didn't even count up the knockouts. Probably a majority of those knockouts, obviously. But 13 of those 16 wins are against winless fighters. Another one of those wins, the 14th win, was against a guy with one win, who was like 1-8.
And this is the guy with 6 losses, or this is
This is
the
the one with 6 losses. Eric Priest is a decent fighter. He's aggressive but responsible. He likes to be aggressive, but he's responsible. Nice size middleweight, good
so this
jab.
is this is a bit of a little setup then, This guy is
Yeah,
16
yeah,
and
I
6,
like
but even
Priest.
as a 16 and 6 record is not that stellar, and most of his wins have been against nondescript opposition.
Nondescript in his home
So he
country.
shouldn't. So Priest, what does Priest do with this guy?
Priest should get rid of him. The only worry or concern here is that it's an 8 rounder. Okay,
Mm.
so he's fighting the clock a little bit here. But listen, Priest is good. He's got good legs. He's busy. Jabs, counters. He rolls with punches very well, and he's aggressive, man. So I like him. I'm high on Priest. I like watching him fight.
What is Priest by stoppage? Is there odds on it?
There wasn't yet. I'm going to double check. He's a minus 3,500 on the money line.
Yeah,
Minus 3,500. The
without a
props.
prop, it's not really worth it unless you.
No. There's no value there.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think it's not going to be a great value, but I think it'll probably be a minus 400 situation. Yeah, it's still not up. Minus 3,500.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it'll be a minus 400 type situation. And if you really want to get a little, as you like to say, froggy, you can go with rounds. I mean, you can try 1 through 4 first half of the fight. Second half of the fight is rounds 5 through 9. But I think Priest gets rid of this guy any which way he's supposed to. He's supposed to go out there.
Because it's an 8 rounder, you said.
Yeah, but he's supposed to go out there and make a statement with this guy and get rid of him. No question about it.
Okay. All right. Maybe that'll get you better odds. A little bit of prop bet route. All right. Fulgum, right? Was that the next one?
Yeah. Fulgum versus David Stevens. Another very interesting fight.
And these guys have what common opponent is Makuziev.
Makuziev in 2 very good fights. I mean, the one with Fulgum could have been fight of the year. I mean, what a fight! It came down to the 12th and final round where he was actually up on the cards and he got dropped.
Wow.
He got dropped and he ended up losing a very close decision by a point. And now with David Stevens was extremely competitive in losing that 12-round decision to Makuziev. How do you say his name again?
Makuziev.
Both very competitive fights. This is an interesting fight. This is not a minus 500 fight, which is Fulgum is a favorite at minus 500. Not a minus 500 fight. I think this is going to be a barn burner. I think they're going to.
Do you think Stevens is live or has any chance, or it's close, but Stevens should still win it?
No. Fulgum, I lean towards. He's the favorite. He's the minus 500.
I mean Fulgum. Yeah. Do you think Stevens have any chance, or Fulgum still win it?
Yeah, I mean he's got very good power. He's got decent hand speed, but he's got to be planted to have that hand speed. He's one of those guys whose feet don't catch up to his hands. You know that style, right?
Yeah.
And now he can be a little leaky.
He falls in a little bit.
Yeah, he kind of disconnects on defense a little bit, where he's in one mode or the other. It's either offense or it's defense. He doesn't mesh them together too well, and he's there for the counter sometimes. But he's a very good fighter. He's a very good fighter. And Stevens, in his own right, is it's going to be an aggressive fight where they're going to meet each other in the middle of the ring. There's not going to be a whole lot of boxing here. Yeah, there'll be some counters, there'll be skills on display, but I think it's going to turn into a dogfight.
Okay, all right. What are you looking at here?
Boy,
some of these fights on the schedule is tough, man.
Yeah, it's been tricky lately. If you twist my arm, and I'm not going to get greedy with a stoppage or a decision here, I got to lean towards
Fulgum minus 500.
Fulgum at the minus 500. Yeah,
I'm buying it a little bit with some parlay action. Bring the odds a little bit better down. Okay.
Correct.
All right, I see. And then we got the big main event on Saturday night, man, right?
Yeah, Vergil Ortiz.
Vergil Ortiz and Eric Lubin. Good fight, good matchup. Obviously, Vergil Ortiz has been streaking. It's sort of a last chance saloon for Eric Lubin, who's always a perennial contender, but has not been able to break through as a world champion. But solid matchup.
Yeah, I mean, listen, Lubin's a tough out. He's a tough out for anybody. This guy was, I mean, who's your best 154 in the world right now? You probably have to lean towards Fundora, right?
I lean towards Vergil, actually.
Okay, all right.
Vergil beats Fundora.
Yeah,
but the recent Fundora improvements, I gotta say, put him in the conversation. Definitely make an argument for him. I think the way he looked against Zoo, understanding how to use his height and distance and whatnot, I think that was really an improvement from Fundora.
I'm sorry,
you couldn't miss Fundora before. Now he actually makes you miss and pay.
Yeah, but you're saying the best at 154 in the world. You think it's Ortiz or you think it's Fundora?
Yeah.
I think it's Ortiz.
I think it's Ortiz, but Fundora can now, in my opinion, be in the conversation based on the recent improvements I've seen in his style. I think he's world class regardless. But as far as the number one guy, I was looking at Ortiz as my number one guy right now.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what? I'm gonna plant the seed. We'll see what you think about this. I think
he hasn't been at 154 for that long. I guess.
Listen, Paul, he was 21-0 with 21 knockouts. Now he's 23-0 with Toronto knockout. So his last 2 fights since moving up to 154, he's been forced to go the distance twice in a row, right? So what does that tell you? Just common sense that his power is not going to be the same at 54 as it is against 47 because he's fighting bigger guys with better punch resistance.
Fought Madrimov and Boachuk.
Yes, but Paulie, let's not disregard the fact that Boachuk beat him. He got a gift, Paulie. He got a gift that night.
But it's close. And honestly, I rated Boachuk high, but you know what? He just can't get past Brandon Adams, who himself is a dog.
And listen, listen, the Madrimov win, I don't give him, and I'm not trying, and I like Vergil Ortiz, but Madrimov went to that fight sick, Paulie. If you remember on that Saudi card, people were pulling out left and right.
That was when Schofield pulled out, right?
Yeah. And there were rumors that Madrimov was going to pull out, and ultimately he ended up fighting, but he did not look like himself. That didn't look like the Madrimov.
Okay, you're bringing some good food for thought. So what are you thinking here?
So I think Ortiz got a guy, a Madrimov, that was not firing on all cylinders. So just keep little things like that in mind when breaking down this fight, that now he's fighting at 54, so the power isn't the same. And you know what? His 2 fights at 54 against Madrimov, he looked good, but he looked good against almost like if you saw the movie Gladiator, Concealed Wound. Like he went out there and he was, damaged goods. And then again, I thought he lost the previous fight. And had some very favorable refereeing. Lubin is arguably the best guy that he is fighting. Lubin is beyond battle.
Arguably for sure.
Yeah.
Listen, Lubin can punch and he can box.
He can punch, he can box. And Paulie, we know he's got character. We got characters and balls.
Okay, he's got character, but is he a little bit used up even at 30 years old?
Very good point.
What do you think? That Fundora fight could have took a little bit out of him,
Yeah, these are all things to consider.
So I had him on Pro Box TV. We commentated his last fight. He didn't look great, but it could be a lack of motivation. It could be a long layoff. He didn't have much in front of him, and eventually did get the guy out of there.
And also keep in mind, Paulie, that he got a gift decision over Ramos. He lost that fight.
Okay.
So that needs to be considered. So, it's interesting on both ends of the spectrum because we're not going to anoint Ennis the best at 154 after one fight, one round of boxing at 154.
Against the minus 17 million, against a plus 17 million underdog.
But if you twisted my arm and you said, all right, the next fight is Vergil Ortiz versus Ennis, what are you thinking? I take Ennis all day, Paulie. I take Ennis all day. But he doesn't have the resume at 154.
You haven't seen Ennis really at 54 yet.
I'm just big on Ennis overall as a talent. I really am. He just passes the eyeball test with flying colors. But we're not talking about Ennis. We're talking about Ortiz and Lubin. So focusing on this fight, listen, I think that this fight could only end in a knockout, honestly, one way or the other. Really? I think Lubin's going to go for broke here. I mean, he's not going to be able to climb the ladder again. As
Lubin's a ballsy kid.
He's got a lot of balls. He's got a lot of confidence. And boy, he's low key had a hell of a resume. I mean, he's beaten. He's the only guy to ever stop even smaller wins that might not stand out to people. The only guy to ever stop Ishe Smith. Nobody stopped Ishe. He stops Ishe. He's got a lot.
He's got wins over champions. Ishe Smith was a champion, just not when they were champion. Ishe Smith, Jason Rosario, right?
Lubin has always been match tough. Even the guy that you fought at Barclays in what was your first title defense? Help me out.
Cano?
He beat him in like his 9th or 10th pro fight, Paulie. Lubin.
Pablo Cano?
Yeah. I thought it was Pablo. No, it might have been the other. Oh, wait. Hold on. Bear with me.
That's a different weight, dude.
No.
140/147.
I'm confusing fighters, but it was a very good win in his 10th or so pro fight. Stand by. Oh, I'm sorry. Orlando Lara. Lara.
Oh, yeah. Lara was a 47/54, yeah.
Very good fight to beat a guy like that in your 10th pro fight. And then you look at some of the other guys that Lubin's beat over the course of time. Obviously, he got stopped in that one round against Jamal Charlo. But he beat Jorge Cotto, who's a very good fighter. Ishe Smith, he stopped.
Rosario.
Yes, Luis Arias, he stopped in the 5th round. He was beating.
And he beat Jason Rosario, too. The guy who beat Julian Williams for the world title.
Yeah, and also he beat Terrell Gush. How do you pronounce it? Goucher. Yeah, got him beat. He was beating Fundora. He was up on the scorecards. He put Fundora on the canvas, but his face was literally falling apart. His face, So I mean, and he's also coming off a win over undefeated Andrew Holmes, who's 17-0. Who isn't a guy that I won money on that fight. I haven't been super impressed with Holmes, but the point is that Lubin is still that serviceable pro that was able to go out there, and you're not going to get past him unless you're something special.
Yeah, he's not. It's not beyond him to go and get into a shootout, though. This could be a shootout again on Saturday because the Fundora fight turned into a shootout,
Yeah, so I think Ortiz is the real deal, but I think he's going to be tested. He can't afford to slip up here. I got Ortiz for the KO.
What about if you're really feeling froggy? Do you do Ortiz for the KO getting up off the canvas? Can Lubin drop Ortiz?
It can
I mean,
happen.
just if you're feeling extra froggy, that's got to be crazy odds.
Yeah,
Ortiz can win by stoppage, but getting up off the canvas.
Getting up the
I,
canvas, look, it could happen.
well, that's got to be crazy odds, but it's not beyond the realm of possibility if you
Not
want
a
to
bad
throw
idea.
something
I'll
crazy,
throw $5 on a plus 700 like that, and then turn
Yeah,
that plus 700 to a plus $1,500. If I lose
yeah,
$5, I lose $5,
yeah,
or I can
yeah,
win $75 if he gets dropped.
yeah.
Yeah, Lubin. Listen, Lubin is not a huge puncher. He's got 19 knockouts and the 27 wins. I mean, he's more known for being a boxer with a good jab and a good style. But also, again, as we keep alluding to, the guy's got balls. The guy's got character. He's a grinder. And if he's behind the scorecards, he will go for broke.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very good fight. I think the fight ends in a knockout one way or the other.
Yeah, and also he doesn't have a crazy knockout resume, but he also has a crazy resume. So when you have that kind of resume, you're not gonna you're gonna get less knockouts because you're constantly in against guys who are not only durable but world
Yeah.
class, right? So
Paul, think about his two losses. The Fundora fight we've discussed. He was a fight that he was ahead on, where he put Fundora down, and
Charlie just got caught early.
His face
That
fell
fight would
back.
have been a good fight.
Charlo, he got caught in the first round. It could happen. We don't know how that fight would have played out. So, I mean, the only thing is, does Lubin have miles on him at this point? He's got plenty of miles on him.
Yeah.
But you never know, dude. Some guys, we thought Arturo Gatti was shot when he was 26, 27 years old. The guy went on until he was 35. Yeah. Pacquiao, some of these guys, they get a second life and they keep going. But these are all going to be, with the exception of, I expect Priest to blow Correa out. I think these are all very good competitive fights. I mean, twist my arm, as far as Flaz Johnson or Ortiz Lubin, I mean, I don't know which one I'd want to watch more. If I could only watch one of those two fights and they were on at the same exact time and I only had one TV, it's a tricky one, man.
Yeah,
they're both very, very good fights.
Luckily, they're back-to-back nights, so it sets up a great boxing weekend.
Yep. Yeah, and we lost that on, we lost it on Jake Paul versus Davis next week. So,
yeah, well, they're gonna have a replacement, but it's gonna be next month, I think. That's from what I'm hearing.
Okay, but it's a shame for the undercard fighters because it was a decent undercard. Again,
Yeah.
Jake Paul.
Hopefully, those guys get transferred to next month, though.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. But all right, I think that's all the coverage for this week. All right, that's Tommy Rayno, and I'm Paulie Malignaggi. We hope you've enjoyed Tommy and Paulie's big fight forecast. Smash that like button and let us know your thoughts in the comment section as far as who your picks are this weekend, and how you think our picks match up against yours. And don't Monday morning quarterbacker and then hate us. You know what? Do some commenting. Let us know your thoughts. Let us know your thoughts ahead of time so we can gauge them and even have a discussion. And of course, this is a public forum, and we hope everybody wins. And if they are the ones gambling as well, we want everybody to beat the system, not get beat by the system. So these are our conversations and our picks. Let us in on your personal picks and likes, and if you agree or disagree. And again, we'll see you next week. This has been Tommy and Paulie's Big Fight Forecast.